Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. June is over, which means we are halfway through 2022. I really haven't introduced that many new products into my collection, so it was pretty easy for me to pull out what my favorites have been so far this year. Because I haven't really introduced a ton of new products, I've also just been using so many of my old favorites. So I didn't pull any of those products for today's video just because they have already been favorites of mine. I wanted to gather up my favorites from this year that are new to the time period. I have been loving glowy, dewy sunscreens this year. The Coola Do Good Illuminating Serum Probiotic Sunscreen SPF 30 is gorgeous. It has a really beautiful, like, dewy, glowy, reflective finish. I really enjoy wearing it with and without makeup, but I do think if you had deeper skin than I do, this might come off a little bit too light for you. I feel like sometimes it's a little bit too light for me, but I still really enjoy the look of it. I think if you had lighter skin or you were just more fair, you'd love it. You would be obsessed with it. Something that suits my skin tone a bit better though is the Say Sun Visor Sheer Moisturizer SPF 35. Gorgeous. This is just totally stunning on the skin. It's dewy, it has a beautiful glow to it. Both of these products, I don't want to say like they have shimmer because I don't want you to get the impression that they're glittery, but they just have like a gorgeous glow to them. I'm going to go ahead and apply the Say Sun Visor SPF 30 just because I think I do like this product a little bit better than the Coola one, but both of them are still such favorites of mine and I use them on and off. Gosh, Molly, you are so cute. Molly's just sitting on my lap. You want to lick the sunscreen off? I would honestly just wear this, maybe put some brows on, do a little lip balm, and that would be perfect. Like, this is such a gorgeous finish. I'm pretty sure this is the only new primer that I've introduced to my collection this year, but I really do enjoy it. This is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I really want to do a side-by-side comparison of this primer next to the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I would usually wait a little bit for my sunscreen to kind of settle into my skin, but I'm just going to go for it. I love how hydrating the Power Grip Primer makes my skin look, and I love that it gives the base like a tacky grip so that my makeup sticks to it a bit better. I narrowed my favorite foundation-like products down to just two. This is the Kosas Revealer Foundation SPF 25. This is my go-to more full coverage foundation currently. I really enjoy it. I love the shade in this as well. It's 220 and it matches me really perfectly. This just looks beyond beautiful on the skin. It's very comfortable. It's very long wearing. And then my other favorite is the Tower 28 Sunny Days Broad Spectrum SPF 30 Tinted Sunscreen. This to me is kind of like a cross between a tinted moisturizer and a foundation. It's got a little bit more coverage than a regular tinted moisturizer. I love that it has SPF. It looks beautiful on the skin. It's very skin-like. It's also very comfortable. I've just been getting so much use out of this. I've actually been using this way more often than like other tinted moisturizers, or I'll just kind of wear a concealer if I want a lighter day. I just feel like I use these two complexion products way more consistently than some of the other newer face products in my collection. What I'm actually going to do for my base today is I'm going to take the Kosas Revealer Foundation and I'm going to mix that in with the new Tower 28 Intensive Rescue Serum. I just love the way that my makeup came out when I recreated Hailey Bieber's date night makeup look, and she had mixed together her foundation in with a serum. We'll see. This is definitely risky for, you know, the first time. We'll see how I like this. I can't imagine why I wouldn't, but I wanted to use the Kosas Revealer Foundation, but I didn't really want all that much coverage. Such a weird feeling. I'm just picking up the rest of it with my sponge because I want to not use my fingers anymore. I just gave up on that. I got quite a bit of sun yesterday while I was picking some blueberries, and this looks a little bit light for me right now. It's gorgeous. I feel like between the gripping primer and the serum, it's given the foundation a little bit of a tacky feeling, which I just think will keep my makeup like in place longer. I love this though. The skin looks so fresh. it kind of just looks like I applied moisturizer, like a really hydrating moisturizer. For concealer, I chose the Say Hydra Beam Concealer and then the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum. I'm still using my Kosas Revealer Concealer very regularly, but I've been using that. These concealers are newer in my collection. The Bare With Me Concealer Serum from NYX I think is a gorgeous consistency. Both of these happen to be a little bit more of like a sheer coverage concealer. The NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum is a gorgeous like everyday type concealer. It's a little bit more sheer than a regular concealer. I feel like if you felt the Say concealer was a little bit too dewy, you might want to check out the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum, but I really enjoy it. My only issue with it is the applicator. I really wish that the applicator carried way more product. I hate that I have to like dip into the product multiple times, but I really don't need that much coverage right now, so I only did 2 dunks. The Say Hydra Beam Concealer is so gorgeous when I blend it out with my fingers. I also really like to wear it on its own as well. It's a great concealer to wear by itself because it really doesn't look like you're wearing makeup. But then I do like pairing it with a more full coverage foundation, just because sometimes a full coverage foundation and a full coverage concealer can be a little bit too much for me. I'm going to go ahead and do my brows with the e.l.f. Brow Lift. If this product is not new to me this year, then I don't have a new brow product for this year. So I'm using this one anyway. I really enjoy it. I'm pretty positive that I got this year though. But yeah, I'm just gonna run it through my brows really quick before I move on to the rest of my makeup. I really like to have this brow product sit for as long as possible before brushing it back out again. I feel like I get the best results when I kind of let this just sit and dry down a bit and then brush it through. I pulled out 3 bronzers that I've been really enjoying so far this year. The first one is the Mob Beauty Cream Bronzer in M77. This is a newer formula to the Mob Beauty line, and I actually like this bronzer formula a bit better than their cream blush formula, but I prefer the powder blush formula. And then I actually prefer the cream bronzer over the powder bronzer from Mob Beauty, so it's a little bit backwards. They call this like a cream clay bronzer, and I feel like that's a really accurate description. It's kind of like a powder cream mix. But yeah, I've been using this bronzer a lot. I really enjoy the color of it. I think that it looks beautiful, like blended into the skin, and I really like the look that it gives. I've also been really enjoying the Persona Cosmetics Bronze Multi-Stick in the shade Dune. I love a good bronzer stick. It's just so easy to slap on and blend out. I really like the color of this. I love how creamy and blendable this product is. And then the last bronzer that I pulled out is the Milk Makeup Bionic Bronzer in Shape Shift. I'm going to use the Milk Makeup Bronzer. I haven't used it in a little while, but this bronzer is newer to me this year. I do like a liquid cheek product as well. I feel like liquid bronzers aren't quite as popular as like a liquid blush or a liquid highlight. This color in Shape Shift is really flattering on me as well, and I just love when a product just blends right into the skin and just goes on so seamless. I could see how this formula wouldn't be for everyone, but I really enjoy it. On a regular basis, I really don't use eyeshadow, and if I do use eyeshadow, it's usually my Bodyography Little Celeste very glittery eyeshadow. It's kind of like a one and done shadow for me, or I will just put like some of my bronzer in the crease. And I really haven't introduced any new like eyeshadow palettes this year, or just eyeshadows in general this year. Everything that I bought was at the end of last year, so I was kind of worried that I wasn't really going to have eyeshadow. But I remembered that Urban Decay sent me their new Naked Half-Baked little like mini eyeshadow palettes, and I actually really enjoy this. I haven't been reaching for it too much lately just because I really haven't been wearing eyeshadow, but I have used this a few times, so I am going to use it. I think that this will end up just being like a favorite of mine this year. I didn't grab a primer. I'm not getting back up to go grab one. I'm going to start off with the shade Buck Off. This eye look is going to be just the most basic thing, so yeah, we're not expecting a good eye look here. It's going to be exactly what you expect. 2022 has been going interesting for me. I'm not currently working, but I think in August I'm going to have something. Not too sure yet, but yeah, I'm thinking in August I'm going to have something. At the end of May, I crashed my car, which sucked. May was the worst month. I'm still thinking about it, just how horrible it was. I got COVID. We had to miss our really good friend's wedding, which just sucked so bad. Like, both Justin and I were homesick with COVID while all of our friends were at the beach enjoying the most beautiful wedding ever. So yeah, that really sucked. I'm going to line my lash line with Edible. And then at the end of May, I crashed my car. I crashed my very first car. It was a Mazda 3, a 2013 Mazda 3. It was red. I had it since I was 16. And I planned on honestly driving it for like a while longer. Like, you know, at least 5 more years or something I was planning on getting. And like, I had just gotten it serviced as well, so it was freshly serviced, running really well. And yeah, I crashed it. The doctor that I saw afterwards said that it sounded like I had a kidney stone because I was in so much pain that I passed out. I'm going to take Half Baked all over the lid. I was just in so much pain while I was on the road. And like, oh, I dipped into the wrong color, shoot. Well, let's put a little bit of Rocky there too. But yeah, I ended up turning around so I could go back home, but I crashed instead. I passed out. But yeah, the doctor said that the pain that I was describing sounded a lot like a kidney stone. I never had a kidney stone before, but yeah, the doctor said that usually if you have one kidney stone, you're likely to get another. But now I'll just know what that kind of thing feels like. My parents had never had a kidney stone, so I like wasn't really familiar with them. But yeah, I think I'm pretty familiar with them now, and I literally never want one again. Like, if that's what I had, I never want one again. But I'm glad that I'm safe, you know? I'm glad that everything was fine. And Molly was with me too, thankfully as well. She was in the passenger seat. I'm going to add a little bit of roll-in to the inner corner. When Molly was that small, I used to have her sit like in my lap, which I'm actually going to be trying not to do with Wilma anymore either. Like, that crash just scared me so much. But luckily for like this particular time, Molly was in the passenger seat. So she was totally fine. Like, she was actually in her bed in the passenger seat, and when I crashed, when I hit the tree, the bed fell off from the seat and onto the floor. So I don't even think she got hit by like an airbag or anything. I don't even think the airbag would have deployed because of the weight limit. I think that has to do with it. But yeah, I walked away with just like a couple of bruises and scratches from the seatbelt, and that was it. That was amazing. I have 2 favorite mascaras from this year. The first one is the ColourPop Level Up Lengthening Mascara, and then I also have been really enjoying the Milani Highly Rated Mascara. I'm going to go ahead and just use both of them. I'm going to use the ColourPop Level Up Mascara first. I don't have my lash curler. This video is so disorganized. But on a lighter note, I did get my puppy dog Molly this year, even though I was just talking about her. We adopted her in April 13th. So April 13th, 2022. So that was lovely. We took our first family trip to New York. It wasn't really too much of a trip. It was more like speed moving Allie because she is moving there. But I am going up there next week. I think that you'll be seeing this video the day before I leave for New York to go visit her for a week. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm applying the Milani Highly Rated Mascara. I was about to not go in with my lash separator, but I'm just going to go in like a tiny bit with it. I'm dipping into Edible with a brow brush. I'm just going to like shade in a couple of spots on my brows. Usually any dark brown is fine. Like, this is a little red, but it's fine. There are brow products that are worse. Although I've kind of decluttered most of the brow products that just don't work for me. Yeah, that e.l.f. brow lift is just so impressive. Like the fact that I can just continue to brush out the product, but it still has a good hold, it's perfect. I have a few different blushes to share. The first one is the Essence Mosaic blush in the shade Berry Connection. I think I got this year. I'm actually not too sure. I know that I've used this in the past, but I've been recently really enjoying this. I don't usually wear colors like this, and like even swatch, it's not gonna do it justice, but when applied to the skin, it is very nice and flattering and like brightening, but it adds like a really beautiful color. I don't know why like swatched out like that, it just is not doing anything for the blush, but I swear, like when you apply it to the cheeks, it's really gorgeous. These are not talked about enough at all. These are the LA Girl Soft Matte Cream blushes. I have mine in the shade Grace and Blissful. That's Grace and that's Blissful. The pigment on these liquid blushes is amazing, and then on top of that they're just so blendable and creamy, but then they dry to be like a soft matte finish. They're just gorgeous. Like as you can tell, they're not like overly shiny, but they haven't really dried down yet, and especially when you blend them out like with a brush or whatever, it definitely gives that like soft matte finish. But yeah, these are amazing. I cannot believe I'm not seeing these like all over the place, especially for how affordable they are. And I know that they only have a few colors, but I feel like the colors that they have are really good. I also wanted to bring out my Milk Makeup Bionic blush in the shade Beyond. I really enjoyed this Bionic cheek formula from Milk. I just think it's a really unique formula. I love how the products apply and just sit on the skin, and just how they blend into the skin. This is definitely more of a sheer blush, but you can build it up a bit, and I just love the shade of it. It's a little bit more unexpected for me, but I find it to be really flattering. And then lastly, I have the new Persona Cosmetics multi-stick blushes. They released 3 different shades. The first one is Teddy, and then there's Kiss, and then there's Bubble. That's Teddy, that's Kiss, and that's Bubble. All 3 of these actually end up being really flattering on me. I think that the color payoff of these is really beautiful. They're very creamy. They're very dewy on the skin. They blend out very nicely. I love a cream stick cheek product as well. I really enjoy the combinations of these mixed as well. I think that they end up being so pretty when you mix them together. For some reason, Kiss is really calling to me, especially with this eye look. I'm going to add a little bit of Kiss to the cheeks. You can definitely build up this blush or sheer it out a little bit. You could always like grab the color onto the brush first and then apply it to the cheeks. You don't have to put the stick directly on to your cheeks. I kind of love like a golden bronzy eye with red toned cheeks and lips. I think that that's such a pretty look. Yeah, see that red looks so intimidating and bright, but then when you put it on your cheeks and blend it out, they describe it, I think, as like a sheer strawberry whenever you blend it out. But yeah, that's so pretty. I really like that blush and eye combo. Before I do my lips, I'm going to go in with a little bit of powder. This is the Kosas Cloud Set. This is definitely not a newer product, but it's really only been this year that I've been using this so much. It was really when the Kosas Revealer Foundation came out that I started using this powder, and I was like, okay, I really can't believe that I've been not using this for so long, because I've had the Cloud Set in my collection and I just wasn't liking it. Like I just wasn't liking the powder. But then I gave it another shot, and I wish I could remember like what it was about this powder that I didn't like, because it is such a good powder. Yeah, it took away like a lot of the dew, but it kind of took away the dew that was a little bit more unnecessary, and like my skin is not flat at all, even though I just powdered my whole face. I don't have a new lip liner, and I don't know where my LA Girl Sugar and Spice lip liner is. I don't know where it is. And I feel like I'm missing another Milani lip liner. But this is the Milani Color Statement lip liner in 04. And I will just use this till the day I die. There's no reason for me to not. I was thinking about maybe adding one of the new Rare Beauty lipsticks into this video, but it is just too soon. Like those just came out, so it is just a little bit too soon. I feel like Milani just does it for me in the lip department. I love the lip liners, I love the lipsticks, I love the glosses. So yeah, I want to share some glosses real quick. This is the Milani Keep It Full lip gloss in Prismatic Peach. It's just this beautiful shimmery glittery lip gloss that's gorgeous. This one, which is definitely what I'm going to be putting on my lips today, it's the Milani Keep It Full lip gloss in Gold Dust. Yeah, that will just look perfect with today's look. But then I also really enjoy these cute little fruit fetishes. These are just lip oil gloss type lip products. I use these all the time. I keep these in my bag. This is the Raspberry Peach, and then this is the Dragon Fruit Coconut. I think that the Raspberry Peach is my favorite. I have a couple of other ones that I think, like, I left one at my parents'. I have one like in some bag that's not in use right now. But yeah, I'm going to go in with the Milani Keep It Full Gold Dust. This just matches my look perfectly. I just took my hair down, but I forgot to set my skin. I've never done this before, but a couple of you guys told me that you do this and that it's totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and use my Tower 28 Daily Rescue Facial Spray on my skin after makeup. I haven't done that before, but I use this every day for like skincare. Like I use this right out of the shower in the morning and in the evening after I've washed my face. The spray on that is very powerful. My face is practically like sopping wet right now. This is the final look. I adore it. I really have been enjoying all of these products. I think that these fit perfectly into my collection, and I love that I've still been really enjoying some of my favorites from last year. Pretty much all of my favorites from last year I'm still enjoying and getting a lot of use out of, but I love these newer products as well, and they do just fit so perfectly into the types of looks that I like to do. They really complement some of the other makeup that I already own. So yeah, those were my mid-year favorites. Let me know what your mid-year favorites have been. Maybe if we have some similar favorites. That is going to be it from me today though. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. If you aren't already subscribed, definitely go ahead and do so, and hopefully I will see you next time.